Hey everyone, it's Types, and today I'm going to be looking at Paradox Rift. I've looked at it a few times before, but we see that this time, I don't know, it's just more recent, and so now we have more idea of what the, I guess, Obsidian Flames meta and also 151/Mu meta is like, so that's good. Now we know like kind of what this is falling into. And we can also look at Japanese lists. I'm not going to be doing that in this video, but I've looked at it in the past, and I will do that some in the future because it's pretty cool seeing what these cards can do. But pretty much, these are Justin Measles proxies, so I will have the link down below, I think, hopefully. And so you can go and check these out. These are not official English translations. Oh, this one is. That was like a bad example. This is not an official English translation, but some of them are, like this one, because they've already been officially revealed. They're not actually. I mean, yes, they still are proxies, but. And also, excuse my voice. I'm still feeling a little under the weather, but hopefully it's not too bad. So I just want to take a look at these, and eventually I'm going to put them in tier list, but not just yet. So first of all, Frostlass EX is one of the Terra EXs that changes type. It's grass type, unsurprisingly uses water energy. And we see its ability, Evanescent. Yeah, Evanescent. Hopefully that's right. If this Pokemon is inactive and is knocked out, flip a coin. If heads, your opponent takes one for your prize card. Oh boy, that's fun. It's obviously a good ability. It means on average you take 1.5 prizes. 250 HP is fine. Let's see. Frostbite 140 and 22 when your opponent's benched is not particularly good. I don't think this card's very good. There's an okay Frostlass, but overall I don't think this Frostlass EX is super good. I wouldn't really play it. It's obviously a bit inconsistent. They're never actually obviously taking 1.5 prizes. It's only one or two, and if it's only one, this Pokemon's pretty good. If it's two, this Pokemon's pretty bad. So I'd say it's not worth running unless you're doing Zoroark Baxcalibur, I guess, but like you're not. So yeah. Next we got the Simmies. So Simisage, Simisear, and Simipour. They all have an ability that says if you have all three in play, ignore the colorless attacks of their Pokemon. So they each have one energy of their type then necessary. I suppose you could use them. Well, you can't really use Simisear like ever, but you can use Simisage and Simipour with a reversal. And actually, their attacks are probably better. Simisage is immune to Pokemon done damage done to it from Pokemon with abilities. We've seen this on Melmetal, which I believe is. I don't remember how much that does. Yeah, it does 80. Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. So this does more though. That's kind of the point that I was trying to make. That Simisage does more, so that's pretty good. Melmetal has much more HP though, so it's certainly up to you which one you want to do. I think this Simisage is worth running in Zoroark, and then it's also like a pretty good attack here on its own. Simisear does 190. It does 30 to itself as well, which is not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. And then Simipour does 50 and 30 to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Or each of their bench Pokemon. So that's pretty good. That's obviously I'd be doing a decent chunk of spread, but it's not the best. And if you're actually looking at reversal attackers in Zoroark, it's outclassed by Electivire. So overall, I feel like this card is or the three of them. Simisage is the best, and then Simisear is all right, and Simipour is okay. I don't think this deck's great, but I don't think it's awful either. We'll need Luminous Energy to make it like a toolbox style deck, but I think it could accomplish that decently. I think it's going to be an underrated rogue deck, but certainly not a great deck. Next up, we got Toadschool. Cards in your opponent's discard pile can be put back into their hand by the effect of abilities or trainers. This is notably useful for superior energy retrieval, and then Palpad, and yeah, it's a good counter to control. It's a decent counter to Chien-Pao. That's not the thing. It's a decent counter to Chien-Pao. I don't know how good this card is, but I mean, no, it's only into their hand. Sorry, no, it's a good. It counters it most just counters superior energy retrieval and Clara and stuff like that. It's okay. I don't really know how good. I don't think it's that good because it's stage one. If it was a basic, it would be pretty good. But I think this card might see niche play, but not too much. Volcanion is not great. It accelerates some fire energy. but it's not. It doesn't do that much like damage or accelerate that much energy. Armor Rouge EX. This one's really interesting. It's at full HP. It takes 80 less from attacks, and then its attack has 40 and 40 more for each fire energy attached to it. So obviously you need to be at full HP, and they can ping you, but that's kind of hard to do. Let's say this ability is really good. This attack's a bit awkward though. You can obviously power it up using Magma Basin, but you can't damage yourself, otherwise you're not going to get that Crimson Armor, which you really want. So instead you're going to have to power up a bench Pokemon, probably a benched Baby Armarouge, and then move the energy off that Baby Armarouge using Armarouge to this Armarouge EX, if that makes sense. So yeah, you can't power it up directly. It's a little awkward, but it's not too bad. Um, And next we got Garchomp EX. Garchomp EX is very good. I'll talk about its second attack first. Discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. It does 120 Snipe for 2 colorless. You could use a double turbo, but then you're only doing 100. This card's not, that attack's not very good. But it is a water type as well, as opposed to like fighting, which is that good? It's fine. I don't know how good that is. I don't think it's super necessary, but it's a thing. And then Hydrolander, that was very good. 160, attach up to 3 basic fighting energy from your discard to your bench Pokemon any way you like. That's very good. So yeah, this Garchomp EX is a quite good card. It's quite a good card. I'm looking forward to seeing how much play it'll get. I don't think it'll get... Actually, I think it'll get a bunch of play. It could just play it like a Cheryl deck. It also has Free Retreat, which is kind of nice. Overall, I think this card's pretty strong. Naturally, because of its first attack, it's 160 for a 1, which isn't even too bad. We saw that on the new Charizard DX, except it has a downside. This card is a very strong attacker. Let's see. The Vanilluxe, your opponent's Pokemon that have 40 or HP or less remaining can't attack. So obviously, you look at this on some type of like control or something kind of like that, or something that lowers HP a lot. And I don't know. I think this card's okay. We've seen I believe it's Spirit Mask. Or wait, no, is that the right card? Oh no, Panic Mask. Yeah, yeah. It's a tool that makes you invincible from Pokemon with 40 or less HP, which is seen some play. So you could run Vanilluxe. Serena EX. I don't remember seeing this card before. Okay, so put damage cards on your opponent's. Oh, Pokemon until the remaining HP is 30. Okay, so that'll be nice for this Vanilluxe. There are better options though. And then heal 30 from a Pokemon that recovers from all special conditions, and you do 180 for 3. And both those attacks are pretty alright. Icicle Soul obviously isn't like one-shotting, like ever. Well, actually that's not true. You could do Radiant Hisuian Sneasler plus like Amoonguss. Or no, it's not Amoonguss, it's whatever the new we'll talk about it, I think. Maybe not. Maybe it's not here, but there's one that like poisons, which could be good with this. Next we got, but I don't think this Serena is like amazing. It's okay. Glycopod next we got first strength withdrawal, 170 for watercolors colors, so will be reduced to 150 with a double turbo. You discard energy from this Pokemon, and switch it with one of your bench Pokemon. It's a hit and run style deck, which is fine. A hit and run's not great, but this is certainly, I think, the strongest hit and run we've seen in a while. We've also seen some like I feel like Hitmonlee, Tingaloo hit and run's actually the best hit and run right now. Which is okay. It's essentially seeing no play, but it's an okay deck. But Galazapod, I think, is okay. I don't know if it has great hit and run targets though. Mewtwo is all right. Actually, no, it's not good. It has like an attack that is more for psychic energy attached to it. We've seen stuff like this for Gardevoir, but you can actually accelerate to Mewtwo with Gardevoir, so that's not great. Tapu Koko does 120 of paralysis if they're KO'd in last turn. One of your Pokemon is KO'd last turn, and you do 180 for 3. This one isn't particularly good. It's not garbage, but I don't think it's good enough. And then we got Iron Hands EX. This one is super good. Arm Press 160 for 3 isn't garbage. It's obviously worse than Koko, but as a backup attack, it's alright. But then you're looking at Amp you, Amp you very much. What is this? 120, and if you take a KO with it, you take another prize. So it's a pretty powerful, versatile, or it's not super versatile, but it's a little bit versatile, and it's very powerful. In the sense that it like allows you to take a prize lead. So that's really good. Next, what a Akashic Sense, which in your turn you may attach a basic Psychic from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. If you do draw 2 cards. So this is Shadow's ability, except it can be to any Pokemon, well, any type of Pokemon, not active, but it's pretty good. Attack obviously bad here, but this is pretty good. I'm not sure how good it'll be because, I guess kind of competing in the same spot as Gardevoir Kirlia, which is like a draw and energy acceleration. You can argue which one's better. Obviously, Kirlia is more universal, but Xatu here I think is okay. I don't really hate it. I don't think it's broken either. Like Shadow Rider wasn't the best. I mean, it was the best for a short time, but that's when it had it had Gengar Mimikyu, which was very good. So Xatu I think it's just gonna be okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. You need to see partners for it, and I don't hate it though. Next up, we got Deoxys, move on energy from this Pokemon to your bench. It is 120. It's just a whatever Pokemon. I think there's a Mewtwo which hits more, so I wouldn't play this. This Pathra, if Tulip is in your disguise, is 140, which is in it's a supporter, which we'll probably presumably get to. And then Stance, its ability when you evolve, when you like play this, oh, it's immune to damage and effects of attacks during your opponent's next turn. Wow, okay, that's actually very good. Meaning you're immune to Sableye. Um, yeah, that's actually pretty good. Very good because now you're like invincible. I think this Pathra has serious potential. Obviously, it's a little awkward, but you do need the energy acceleration, which could be Xatu. Which actually I think Xatu is probably the best way to do it. But yeah, overall I think this card is pretty good. Next up we got Screamtail, an ancient Pokemon, which doesn't matter too much, but it does 20 for each damage counter on it as a snipe. Can be to the active, but obviously you can do a pretty big snipe to the bench. Without a tool, you can hit you can get 160 snipe. You can hit essentially as much as you want if you put on some like tools. So I think the Screamtail is pretty good. Actually, not like as much as you want, but yeah, you can one shot anything. Actually, I think. But yeah, this Screamtail is pretty good. I don't know. I'm not a big Guardy fan, but for those of you who are, it's good. Iron Valiant is also it's a future Pokemon, which allows it like more versatility. Essentially, future's kind of like Rapid Strike. Um, I think that Ancient's loosely like Single Strike, but not so much. The Iron Valiant here, you see that its ability lets you ping if it's in the active to any of your opponent's Pokemon, which is very good. We've seen it on Teleon, but it wasn't good on, or we've seen it on multiple Teleons. But then we also saw it on Starmie, which isn't seeing any play really. So I think this has serious potential. I mean, it's a basic, so it should be good. And then Laser Blade, 200 for 3, is power upable. I don't know. You can power it up in certain decks, so that's not like awful when you're also getting this extra damage. Groudon, discard up to 4 energy from your Pokemon to 60 for each energy discard in this way. Max out at 240, which I don't love because that's just not that much, but I don't know. It's all right. I don't think I think it has the tools right now, but um, yeah, I don't think it's quite good enough, unfortunately. And we got Hoopa EX though, another Terra. Oh, there's a lot of Terra Pokemon that change types, which I'm happy about. Because in the past there weren't so many. I hope they're not cut from the set, because I don't know if all these Pokemon are confirmed to be in the set or not just yet. The Hoopa EX, as long as it's so it has the in the Terra thing, I should say it's you're immune to bench damage. Um, which is a thing. It's not that useful. But then we see Energy Crush, 50 for each energy attached to all your opponent's Pokemon, except it's too dark on a not dark Pokemon. So it's going to be really hard to power up. Or not like super hard, but not easy either. And not easy in one turn, especially. You like need Raihan. But then Scoundrel Fist, 200. Again, it's okay, but it's not the best. So yeah, I feel like Koopa is not too great. Toxtricity is a it's a fighting Pokemon, but then it uses lightning energy. And actually, I didn't realize that lightning and fighting are like super similar in color. But Knocking Hammer, and this one's like kind of a new reveal as well. This one I don't really know too much about. Knocking Hammer does 70 in mills 1, and Gaia Punk does 270 for 3 and discards 3. Lightning for your energy from your Pokemon in play. And if you can't do that, I guess you just don't. Because you may be wondering, how can you not like do it if you have 3 to pay it? If you use Thunder Mountain, which isn't expanded, but yeah, so you don't have to discard 3, but I mean if you have them, you have to. So 270 is pretty good. It's not like insane though. I don't think this toxicity is quite good enough, but it could be usable. Oh boy, it's Minecraft Donkey Kong. Let's go. Energy Rock Salt. Once in your turn, you may attach a basic fighting energy card from your discard to one of your Pokemon. If you do heal 30 from that Pokemon, that's not bad. Is it good enough? I'm not sure. I don't know what it would be partnered with. Obviously, we saw this Groudon, but that's a basic, and this is a stage 2, and it needs 3. Realistically, like 4, so that's a lot. You need like 3 Minecraft Dunkos in play, which is obviously pretty awkward, so. Yeah, its attack's okay. It's 140. I'll probably play it, but I don't think it's too good. Cloth, if the opponent's active, oh no, if this Pokemon is affected by a special condition, it does 160 more. How do you do this? I don't know. I don't know the best way to do it. There's like Curry Card or something. So there are some ways to do it, but they're a little awkward. Because obviously it has to be burn or poison. If it's a sleeper paralysis, you just can't attack. And confusion's on a coin flip, which you don't want to do. 190 for 2 colors is very good. I think this cloth's going to be decent. I don't know the exact ways to set it up, but you do have a spicy seasoned curry, yeah. So it burns you. You also heal, which is fine. I mean, you're going to take damage though. After I think this cloth is okay though. It hits 190 for 2 colors, so 170 if it's a double turbo. It's pretty good. Combat Beak, 20 and 20 more for each opponent's bench Pokemon. This is like a really fun Pokemon, but it doesn't hit a lot. I don't think it's going to be good enough unless you can find some like weird use for it. Sandy Shocks is an ancient Pokemon. And it says if your opponent has 4 fewer prizes remaining, which is most of the game, you can accelerate a basic fighting Pokemon friendly energy to this Pokemon. The idea is its attack's not particularly good, so instead you want to accelerate energy, or like move the energy to Hisuian Arcanine V, which is alright. I don't know how good this Pokemon is, but it's not garbage either. And also you get the ancient tools, which aren't gonna like save it from being bad, the attack, but it's not. Maybe it could, probably not though. Crobat either stops items or supporter cards from being played next turn. By your opponent, that's pretty good, but I feel like really just stopping one isn't quite enough. And you don't really want to switch because they're gonna have all of them saved up and then just like toss them all onto the board and it'll be bad. Gengar, you can once on your turn you can just switch. Okay, that's all right. Is it better than Dragonite? It might be. And that's okay. I don't know how good it is, but it's okay. It's awkward on the stage too, but its ability is good. Evil Big. Oh, I thought I said Big Snatch. It's Bag Snatch. Okay. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may remove 2 energies from your opponent's hand, but they go into the deck. That seems bad. Roaring Moon EX, we see another ancient Pokemon, Frenzy Gouging. I've talked about this one, I think, multiple times, but it does instant chaos and does 200 to yourself. And then we also see that yes, other attack does. If you discard a stadium, it does 220, which is pretty good. I think Roaring Moon EX is going to be very good, and I'm looking forward to it. Jirachi, for those of you who don't know, just stop Sableye hitting your bench. It's okay, but it's super niche. It's not a great card. It's only good in one matchup, and even in that matchup, it's not like game winning. I mean, it could be, but it's probably not. Aegislash, I think I talked about recently. It's immune to V's and EXs, but it's a stage 2, and it's not good. We do have Aegislash EX, though, which does 70 more for each prize you've taken, which means after 5 prizes, you'll be one-shotting everything, but after 4, you'll be one-shotting most things. Is this a Terra Pokemon? I can't tell. I don't think it is. Yeah, I don't think this is a Terra Pokemon. I think this is like a glitch. Or like a misprint by probably Justin Basil. It could be by Pokemon as well, but yeah, it looks like it's not a Terra Pokemon. What is a Terra but I think Aegislash EX is okay, but not great. Yeah, Skeletor's EX here, though, is really interesting. It does, its attack, first of all, is 160 for 2, and hits with effects, which is alright. An Incendiary Song. Once on your turn, you may discard basic fire energy from your hand, and then your Pokemon do 60 more this turn. I saw this paired with, I think, Arceus, but it allows you to, it just allows you to hit, like, more damage. It's a very solid card. There's another Skeletor as well, which is this one, which does, how much? It does 270. So yeah, if you add 60, you're essentially one-shotting anything. I think Skeletor with oh wait, how much is that? But it's 2. It's not too bad. I think Skeledirge is gonna end up being this Skeledirge, the new one, is gonna be pretty good. Gholdengo is insane. I've talked about it a number of times. It says once on your turn, if it's in the active, draw 2, otherwise you draw 1. Mega range is 50, and just times the number of basic energy you discard from your hand. So you can discard obviously like 7 and you one shot everything. It's only 1 energy, so you need no energy acceleration. And you have Lady back as well, so it's very good. Terra EX. So there are a number of good Altairs in the format as well, but you can heal 20 from each of your Pokemon once during your turn, which is okay. And its attack is it's immune to effects of attacks, but that's not particularly good. So instead, you're looking at the healing, but Midas Arena is okay, but you don't really need too much more healing in that. Or if you do, you want like a lot more, and Altaria is only going to get a little more. So this Altaria is not great. Tatsugiri, search your deck, flip to 2 cards and put them in your hand and shuffle your deck and you switch this with one of your bench Pokemon. That's not bad. Hit and run like search, like hit and run setup is okay. Certainly can control style card. I don't, as I said, there aren't like great walls, but Tatsugiri is not bad at all either. I think it's all right. I like it. This is actually good. I think I like it more than Furo, and I like it more than Rotom as well. But only time will tell. Maushold EX, which I actually misread last time. Someone pointed out in the comments. So thank you for that. I don't remember who it was. Sorry. But yeah, it's Solidarity. If this Pokemon is in the active and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, even if it's KO'd, put 3 damage counters on it. For each of your Maushold, Tandemaus, Maushold, and Maushold EX, and that includes EXs as well. Actually, the translation from PokeBeach was a bit less clear. This appears to be the official translation, because you see no Japanese on the card, right? Normally it would say, instead of stage 1, it would say stage 1, but like here it says stage 1, but in Japanese. So yeah, it's an official translation, so it counts the Maushold EX as well. So let's say you have a full bench of board of like Maushold and Maushold EX, which is pretty unlikely because it's not impossible using like Zoroark, but it's hard. And you're attacking like just 120 for Nom 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 Incisors. Oh, that's an awesome name. And you draw 2, but you get to have, let's see, so you got 6 of them. I mean, they take 180. I don't know. This is okay, but it's not that good, unfortunately. I mean, the ability is decent, but that's about it. We've seen the same ability on Chestnut, which unfortunately isn't quite good enough. Bombardier, if you go first, you can use it on your first turn, so trip 3 basics and put them onto your bench. And then for 3 colors, you can do 130 and shuffle this and all cards back into attach to it back into your deck, which is okay, but not great. Maybe usable in Colorless Lugia, but I don't know about that. Iron Jugulus, 50 to 3 opponents' Pokemon that already have damage counters on them. It's one we've talked about in the past, and then if you have a certain tool attached to it, which I think also boosts your damage, then you can use the stack for 3 colors and do 150. So pretty good. The tool here is Future Booster Energy Capsule. Buffs damage by 20, and for your treat for future Pokemon obviously broken. Ancient Booster Energy Capsule plus 6 HP and can't be affected by special conditions. Obviously pretty good as well for the ancient Pokemon. Counter Catcher's back. Gust if you're down. Any other reprints? Tulip is essentially the same thing as Nessa, but for Psychics it's good, I suppose. But I don't know. It's not super necessary right now. Techno Radar. You can. This one's very. Oh no, this one discard a card to your hand. Search for 2 future Pokemon, and put them into your hand. That's not super good because, it is very niche. And all the future Pokemon are basic, so you could just use Battle VIP Pass anyways. Let's see. We got Earthen Vessel, though. This is the ancient version, which is so much better. Discard a card from your hand. And then you search check for 2 basic energy. This is like super broken. I know it doesn't seem that different, but searching for 2 basic energy is something we don't have right now. Exactly. So it's going to be really nice. But more importantly, it allows you to discard for like any generic deck. The other one, the future thingy, the Techno Radar, also allows you to discard, but its benefit is essentially none to most decks. So. Wait a second. Okay, there's some like water future Pokemon that's pretty cool as well. It's a bit more versatile, but still not super useful. Then we also see Defiance Vest. It does what you'd think if you're down on prizes. You take 40 less, which is pretty good. I honestly don't know how good this will be, but it seems decent. Gorgeous Mantle, though, gives you 100 extra HP to non-Rulebox Pokemon, but then you give up one more prize. So it's like reverse Island Chim's Challenge Amulet or Hero's Medallion. It's pretty interesting. Will it be good? I have no idea. But it's a real interesting card that makes certain Pokemon very scary. Notably, like Wailord is going to be scary. Larry, on a coin flip, you get 2 Pokemon. On a Tails, you just get a basic Pokemon. It's not particularly great. I wouldn't choose to play Larry, unfortunately. Sorry, Larry. Mela is, it's not great. You accelerate the basic energy from your discard to when your Pokemon draw to have 6, but only if you're knocked out last turn, which is pretty, like, underwhelming. Parasol Lady, shuffle all your hand to your deck, draw 4. Otherwise, if it's your first turn going second, shuffle draw 8, but, like, that's pretty niche. I don't think this card's good. Professor Sada's Vitality is pretty good. Shift to 2 of your ancient Pokemon and attach a risk energy from your discard pile to each of them, and then if you did, draw 3 cards. This is it's a very good card. I think Professor Sada's Vitality is going to be insane with like Roaring Moon, but we'll see. Roaring Moon, yes. Then Professor Taro's Scenario, put 1 Pokemon into your hand and discard all cards attached. This allows for certain looping scenarios. Normally, I'm looking at Espathra. But overall, I think this card is good for control players, but it's not going to be super great in general. Rika, look at the top 4, put 2 of them into your hand, shuffle the other 2 back into the bottom of your deck. It's kind of like Coerces, but usually you don't mind too much Lost Zoning cards from time to time. And then Lost Zone decks, obviously you want a Lost Zone. Chantal, flip a coin. If heads, Gust. If tails, you switch. That's unfortunately significantly too inconsistent. Yeah. Snorlax Doll is super interesting. You can only start it. You can like start it when you're setting up. You can set it up as both in the active or in the bench, which is nice. And then you can always discard it. It's essentially a 120 HP basic, can't be affected by special conditions, can't retreat, but your opponent doesn't take any prize cards for knocking it out, unless some like weird funky mulligan shenanigans that just let you like essentially cheat. You can like choose to mulligan using some funny stuff, pairing it with Luxray, but I don't know. I don't think this card's particularly great. It's kind of awkward. But then we get to the T. Oh no, there's one other card that's not a TM. Medical Energy. You heal 30 when you attach it, which is good, I guess. But moving on to the my favorite cards, the TMs, which are all tools that when let's see, in these official translations, yes, apparently just this one. Okay. So it's a tool, and it says you can use the Pokemon this card's attached. You can use its attack. You're stealing the energy, and then at the end of your turn, you discard it. So that's pretty interesting. You can only use it once, but it's cool. Turbo Energize accelerates 2 basic energy and from your deck and accelerate them to one of your Pokemon, which is very nice. Obviously, it might just die, but overall, it's a pretty good effect, I think. I saw this like weird like pattern on Professor Turbo. Is that like I tried to I thought it was a smudge on my computer. I tried to like wipe it off. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's nothing. I hope that's not what actually. It looks like it might have been like a smudge on like copying it, which could be, or it could be something else. Hopefully it's not the design because I don't like that. This like weird thing here. If you can see it, it's kind of faint. But then we also see TM Evolution. Choose 2 of your bench Pokemon and feature them. Search check for a Pokemon that evolves from it and just evolve it. This is pretty good. You can use this in Stage 2 like Rare Candy decks. And I think this is going to be quite good. Next up, we got Devolution. Devolve each of your opponent's Pokemon by putting the highest stage evolution from it into their hand, which is really nice. You can pair it with like spread stuff. It's just good. And lastly, we have Blindside, the one only like attack that does 100 to each of your opponents that have, to only one of your opponent's Pokemon that has any damage counters on it. But that's still pretty decent. I think this will be okay. It's the most niche, but no, actually no, the Devolution one's the most niche. But overall, I'm super hyped for the TMs. I think this set's very good. I think this is probably one of the best set of the year. But I'm interested in hearing what your thoughts are. If you think it's good, just tell me that, and if you think it's bad, also tell me that. So comment down below your thoughts and any video suggestions you have, deck suggestions you have for Paradox Drift or other decks. And if you enjoy the content, consider subscribing. It's free. You can undo it at any time and all that good stuff. And also, most of you aren't subscribed. So trust me, it's worth it. And when we reach 1,000 subscribers, I think I'm gonna do a little bit of a giveaway. Nothing huge, but like a small little thing. And then also, you got some interesting content coming up, I think. Then Paradox Drift is coming soon, so I'm going to be doing that. And like the video as well and share it if you want. Thanks, and see ya.